Now, Dave, in the early part of January, there was a serious road accident at the bottom of Bishop Street in the city centre. You organised a petition from this and about it. Why did you do that?
You're right, it was. It was a chap in his 70s, and regretfully, as we're filming this, he's still in hospital with very serious injuries. The reason why the petition was, regretfully, it was an accident that was waiting to happen. We've been warning in the months running up to Christmas that the council's plan to take away traffic lights and pedestrian barriers and all signage on 5 areas of the city as part of the development towards the Olympics would mean that certain sections of the population, particularly those who have mobility problems, the old, people with pushchairs or wheelchairs, blind and disabled, we're going to lose the protection which traffic lights bluntly give you when you're crossing a busy street. So we've had I organised a meeting just before Christmas, a special meeting of pensioners in the city to get the bus companies and the traffic engineers to come and justify these changes. Over 400 people over one weekend to sign a petition, and that will now be result in a review taking place by the council, so we can try and get some common sense brought into this debate.
But Dave, there are some who continue to argue that these changes ultimately make areas in the city centre safer for pedestrians. Should we give them some time?
It depends what sort of city centre you're talking about. I mean, I've seen one or two of these shared space places, like down in Covent Garden in London, bits of Oxford and so on. They tend to be single, narrow, perhaps windy streets with bollards and trees and so on, where, in the words of the Department of Transport, pedestrians have more of a comfort zone. That's entirely different to a busy 4-way junction in the city centre used by buses and lorries that once you take out the traffic lights, it makes it look still like a road but without the control that was there. The Labour Council argue that at the moment the average speed along these roads is 24 miles an hour, and they say it's been brought down to an average speed of 18 miles an hour, which may well be true. The difference is, within that, when you had traffic lights, there was 1 minute when the elderly, the blind, the disabled knew it was safe to cross. You no longer have that protection that traffic lights used to bring. So I think there's probably areas where you could bring these shared spaces in. For example, in a pedestrianised precinct, like in Coventry, you might allow certain vehicles to come through to deliver things. That's entirely different to taking away the protection that pedestrians have from large vehicles. So I want this redebated, looked at again, all the evidence brought forward, and the people who live here and use these streets day in, day out, week in, week out, their voice has to be heard in this debate, and it hasn't been heard so far.
Now, Dave, continuing on the traffic note, it seems to be occupying your time in one way or another this month. So what else has been going on in terms of traffic?
Of other issues in the ward. Firstly, we've argued for a couple of years now in the Hillfields area that such was the number of people working in the town parking their cars effectively for free in the streets of Hillfields, and we needed some protection for the people who live there, and we argued for a residence parking scheme. In fact, my late colleague Rob Windsor organised a meeting about 15 months ago with, memory serves me right, well over 100 people at St Peter's Church Hall from that local area, and for those people the letters are literally going out as we speak to bring in a residence parking scheme that would give them the opportunity at least to park much closer to their homes than is currently the case. And we've got one scheme that I helped set up a few years ago in Starley Road opposite IKEA, which was brought in to protect the people who live there from the businesses that were being developed, the ice rink, IKEA itself, the nightclubs and so on that site. And just, it may seem a small point, but the people who live there have traditionally had a visitors parking permits issued to them for about 10 quid, and the council out of nowhere last August doubled the price and started charging, without any consultation, £20, and they were upset about that, so they got a petition together, 60 odd signatures from the people who live in the area. I presented it, we went to a meeting, and the council had to back off. They've put it back to the 10 quid. They're going to refund all those people who paid the extra over the last 6 months, and now they're going to consult properly between now and June as to how they should run that parking scheme. And in a small way, it just shows what if a local area, in this case just one street, gets themselves organised, gets a petition organised, has a little campaign with their local socialist councillor, we can get things done.